Good morning, Hans Herr. I am Dr. Smecker, your principal, and I am really, really excited about the start of the new school year. We are going to be getting together tomorrow over at the Performing Arts Center at the high school for a school-wide assembly. But before we do that, I just wanted to take a few minutes of your time to go over the Pioneer Gold Standard, which is our student code of conduct. And that is just a fancy way of saying these are our expectations for your behavior when you are here at school. So before we get the school year started, I'm just going to take a little bit of time to review this. Your teachers are going to be spending more time reviewing our rules and our expectations, and we're going to talk about that more at the assembly. But I wanted to get your year started off with just a message about this. So first thing I'm going to share with you are just some of the beliefs that we have. All of the adults here in our school, we really believe that you have a right to a positive and a safe and an orderly school. That means uh, students that are not following rules and causing disruption, we're going to work with those students and respond to those students in a respectful way. But at the same time, we want to make sure that we keep your classroom and your school positive, safe, and orderly. We believe that better behavior equals better learning. If you're not worried about students who are misbehaving around you, you can focus better on what you are learning, and that is what you're here to do. We believe that nobody has the right to keep you from learning. So if students aren't demonstrating expected behaviors or are breaking rules, like I said, we are going to respond to them respectfully, but we're going to make sure that they are not interfering with the safety and the learning of others. And we're also going to make sure that they are not keeping themselves from learning. And that's where we get into the Pioneer Gold Standard, and that is our code of conduct. And it is made up of three pretty simple rules that I think you've heard before, but I'll quickly review them: being safe, being responsible, and being respectful and kind. And you can think about those three rules, and they cover just about everything that you can think of. So we want to go over those a little bit more in depth at a later time. Your teachers are going to be talking about this. They're going to be talking about what it looks like in the classroom, what it looks like in the hallways, what it looks like on the school bus, what it looks like in the cafeteria. But I want you to try to keep those three things in mind at all times. If you're being safe, if you're being responsible, and you're being respectful and kind, um, then you really are meeting that gold standard of behavior here at Hansard. But the adults, we're here to really enforce that that is happening. So, what do problem behaviors look like? Well, I'll give you a few examples, but anytime we are not being safe, responsible, or respectful, okay, it could look like this: running or making noise in the hallway. It could be showing disrespectful behavior toward other students or adults. It could be wearing hats and hoods in any common area in the school, like the hallway or the cafeteria. Uh, it could be throwing objects, whether it's in the classroom or on the playground. Or it even could be misusing technology. We don't have enough time to go over all of the possible problem behaviors, but anytime a student is not being safe, anytime a student is not being responsible, and anytime a student is not being respectful or kind, that is creating a problem behavior. And any type of problem behavior can keep you and others from learning. So you might be wondering, what are we going to do about it when another student doesn't follow the rules? Well, before we get into that, I want to talk about what we are going to do for students who are following the rules. Because what we know is that the majority of you do that and you do that consistently. So we're going to be recognizing you for demonstrating the positive behaviors with Pioneer Gold. You'll be able to earn Pioneer Gold individually, but you'll also be able to earn it with your class. So by showing us that you understand the expected behaviors, we are going to recognize that and reinforce that by providing you with Pioneer Gold. But for students who from time to time are causing problem behaviors, the adults are going to be responding to those students, and we're going to do that respectfully. But we are going to respond to make sure that they are not keeping themselves from learning and keeping others from learning. So what we know is that sometimes kids misbehave because they need something, but they don't know the right way to ask for help. So in each of our learning spaces, we're going to have a take a break space. Now, the take a break space may look different in your classroom than it does in, say, the art room or the gym or the cafeteria. But each space in our building will have a spot for students to take a break. If students need help but aren't sure how to ask, and they are causing some problem behaviors, the adults here may respond by having students spend a little bit of time in the take a break space. Now, if you go to the take a break space, it is not the end of the world. Okay, it's not a timeout corner. There is nothing wrong with going to the take a break space. It just means that you need a little bit of time to figure out what it is that you need. And most times, students will go to the take a break space and they'll be able to return and get on with the learning that's going on in the classroom. Now, from time to time, if students are not figuring out what they need at the take a break space, we may need that student to go outside of the learning area to another classroom or another learning area and spend some time trying to really figure out what's going on. And we're going to call that the fix it space. And when a student needs to go to the fix it space, they're generally going to fill out a form that is going to try to help them and the adults figure out what's going on. At that point in time, we would likely let parents know as well. Somebody at home, an adult at home, we would contact an adult at home to say, hey, so and so needed to go to the fix it space today. Here were the problem behaviors, and here's what happened to try to fix those. Now, on very rare occasions, if students are not able to figure out what is going on in the fix it space, we may need to contact an adult from the student response team. Now, that could be me, that could be a guidance counselor, it could be one of our program specialists, it could be an adult that would come to the classroom and work one-on-one with that student. It's likely if a student meets with an adult from the student response team that they may come and talk to me in my office. As you can see in the picture here, Eagle recently had to come to my office to talk through some problems that he was having. So again, it's not it's not the end of the world if somebody has to come and talk with me or a member of the student response team. But it is a sign to us that a student who is doing that needs more help, and that's what we're here to do. So again, I wanted to make sure that everybody understands how the adults in our building will respond to students when they're not sure what they need and they're demonstrating problem behaviors. But what we know is that the majority of you do show us that you understand the expected behaviors and do follow the rules almost all of the time. So I just want to let everybody know that we are really, really looking forward to the start of the school year. I want to remind you to be safe, be responsible, and be respectful and kind. I look forward to seeing you in the hallways and in the cafeteria later today. And I look forward to getting together tomorrow with you in the assembly. So again, thank you for your attention and your time this morning, and have a great start to the 2022-2023 school year. Have a great day, everybody.